sisters, first I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for allowing us to see another day and giving us another opportunity to repent and strive to be virtuous daughters of Zion. In today's video, we're going to be talking about controlling your lust as a single woman, and I'm going to share some tips that helped me with my lust when I was going through the lust during my single season, and it helped me out tremendously, and I pray that these same tips will help you sisters out as well. So let's talk about this kingdom for a second, right? Now, majority of us, we did not grow up learning the truth. We didn't know about the law, statutes, commandments, all that stuff. We just been indoctrinated thinking that having boyfriends, having more than one sexual partner, all that stuff was okay. And the reason why we believe that is okay because it's pushed on us as if it's normal, right? You see all kind of wickedness like promiscuity, whoredom, prostitution, all that stuff. We see it every day. We hear about it every day, whether it's in the music we listen to, the TVs and the movies that we watch, and also on social media. Like, we see our people, mostly our sisters, our beloved sisters, dressed half naked, showing their hoo-has and all that stuff in the public eye. Like, I remember like you have to pay to like see like explicit things like that, but now it's like it's everywhere. Like, you can go outside and you can see a whole sister walking in a two-piece, like just walking the streets. Like, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, so I was working at TJ Maxx, right? And there's this one sister, right? I believe it was a party going on that day in that city. I grew up in a small town. Like, everybody know everybody. If something's going on, everybody hears about it, all that stuff. So I think it was like a party going on. And this sister walked in with, she had on like a fishnet outfit, right? And she had like a bikini under there, right? Like, she was basically naked, right? Like, the fishnet outfit exposed like everything, and she came into TJ Maxx looking like that, where it's like kids there shopping with their parents, and people that usually shop at TJ Maxx where I was working at looked like this, not this, okay? So it was just like embarrassing. Like, I got secondhand embarrassment just seeing this sister like not have enough respect for herself to come into the store looking like that, right? And it's sad that it's us, like, we're the face of that, right? Now, touching on whoredom, that's something that the Most High does not take lightly at all. Such behavior will get you killed. Such behavior will not even you're not even allowed to come into the congregation, come into the tabernacle being a whore, right? And I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 23:17-18 to prove that. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow, for even both these are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. Us being whores is an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Like, he never designed us to be whores. He never designed us to have more than one sexual partner, right? He designed us to be helpmeets to one husband, right? To be helpmeets, to be submissive, to be mothers, keepers at home. Like, this is what the Most High made us to be. He made us to be gentle creatures. He made us to be submissive to our husbands, because our husbands is the closest thing to the Lord, right? That's what the Most High has like designed us to be, right? So for us going contrary to the moral code that he has for us, like, we're going off. But in the case for majority of us sisters, we didn't know about the Most High's laws growing up. Like, we wasn't taught all these things. So whenever you're called into the truth, you must unlearn what you learned from the world and train your mind to learn these laws, statutes, commandments, and apply these to your life. Now, the first example of punishment of you being a whore is Judah and Tamar. Like, that's one of the earliest accounts that you read in the Bible. It just says 38:24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar thy daughter-in-law hath played a harlot, and also behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. Like, Tamar was about to get burnt for her whoredom, but Judah spared her because he was supposed to give her to his son, right? So we know that story, and that's what they left it off as. She did get burnt, and he didn't deal with her no more. Like, that was just the end of that story, right? But another account is Leviticus 21:9. And a daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaned her father, she shall be burnt with fire, right? You being a whore, like us, if we was to behave like this back in them days, a lot of us would have been burnt alive with fire. And I can't imagine being burnt in fire. I can't imagine touching fire at all. Like, I can't even handle the heat. So yeah, like, the Most High does not take whoredom lightly, right? So now we're gonna get into like controlling your sexual urges, controlling that lust, right? And that takes a lot of dedication, intention, and discipline. And the first precept I want to get is 1 Corinthians 9:25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So temperance in this context is to be self-controlled. And for example, right, athletes, they in order for them to win a game, they train themselves, they train their mind, and they stay away from a lot of things like sex, certain foods, wine, all things that'll distract them, right? Because they're trying to win a game. And that's something that we have to have as women. We have to have that same diligence, but in a spiritual sense, right? We want to stay focused so that we can make it to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to get 1 Corinthians 9:27. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, that they, by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself shall be a castaway. So you have to really bring your body into subjection and having that temperance and discipline over yourself. And also having self-control as fruits of the Spirit. And I'm going to get Galatians 5:22-23 in the CEV. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. There is no law against things like this. So us as women, we have to be self-controlled. And then I'm going to get Titus 2:3-5. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach their young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed, right? And the word discreet means to have self-control, right? So throughout the scriptures, is going to tell you to really control yourself. And it's more than just controlling your lust, but control yourself in all aspects when it comes to your mind, when it comes to your emotions. Because us women, we're emotional creatures, right? So we really have to train ourselves to be self-controlled in all aspects. But in this lesson, we're just more so specifically talking about sexual urges, lust, all that stuff, right? So in order for you to gain self-control, you have to pray and ask the Most High to give you that. And I'm going to get James 1-5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. Right? And that's plain upon tables. And now I'm going to get Matthew 7:7-8. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open. Right? So if you really want to gain self-control, you're going to have to pray for it. Right? You have to pray for it. Like, how the Most High knows that you're sincere and that you really want something, he's going to want you to profess that. Right? First Thessalonians 5:17, pray without ceasing, right? So in order for you to receive that blessing, you have to believe and have faith that the Most High will come through for you and give it to you, right? I'm going to get James 1:6-7. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think he shall receive anything of the Lord. Right? So it's one thing to pray for something, but you have to believe and have faith that the Most High will give it to you. Because like it says, let no man think that he gonna receive anything from me. Okay? Because why ask for something and you think that I'm not gonna give it to you? Like it literally says in Matthew that in James that the Most High will give it to you liberally, right? Like it's not a hard thing for the Most High to give you something that you're asking for. Right? Now I'm going to get into the tips that help me to control my lust during my single season. And again, I pray that you sisters take notes and really apply these tips to your life. And I pray that it helps with your single season whenever you're struggling with this lustful demon. So the first tip that I have is reading. Reading the Most High's words helped me to shift my focus. Even if I didn't understand what I was reading, like I was really determined to read, really determined to shift my focus elsewhere so that I would be entertaining a lustful thought. And the second tip that I have is watching edifying videos and taking notes, right? Like my mission was to learn as much as I could being a Hebrew Israelite. It didn't matter what the topic was, whether it be doctrine or whatever the case may be. I was determined to learn as much as I could just so that I don't have to be caught up thinking lustfully, right? Because when it comes to thinking so much about lust, thinking so much about, your sexual urges, it's going to have you doing some things that you have no business doing, and you'll be going off, and we can't afford to go off like the times that we in right now. So you gotta really get yourself together, get your spirit right, learn to control yourself, and just take this walk seriously. And the third tip that I have that's not in my notes is to restrain yourself from listening to secular music and watching TV shows and movies that promote that kind of stuff. All that stuff that we see and that we hear is spiritual, and is either going to feed it or is going to diminish it. And a lot of this secular music is low vibrational. All it talks about is sex, money, drugs, and all manner of wickedness that is really going to diminish your spirit. So if you don't have no rule over your spirit, I advise you to not listen to these types of music or watch these type of shows. And also try to take a social media fast. Or you don't even have to do that. Like, what I did is, before I did a social media fast, I unfollowed almost everybody that I was following that was promoting themselves to be whores. I unfollowed a lot of drama pages. I unfollowed a lot of celebrities and influencers. Like, I unfollowed everybody. And it helps because it changes your algorithm on your social platforms. So now that I go on social media, all I see is people that's in the truth. I don't even follow people that I used to go to school with. Like, all them people is gone. Okay. And I do it for myself. Like, I do it because I know how I am. I know how I get. And I don't want to see none of that stuff that's going to pull me away from the Most High and from his law, statutes, commandments. So I highly advise that as well if you guys haven't done that already. And the fourth tip that I have is praying and fasting. In order for you to get a particular spirit off of you, you have to pray and fast. That's the only way that's gonna help to get rid of these spirits, right? And I'm gonna read Matthew 17:21. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. And that's plain upon tables. And the last tip that I have is vision the woman that you want to be and then start building her. So that's all the tips that I have. And then, I have a bonus tip, right? You don't have to do this, but I want to throw this out there because it's like a little icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like a little cherry on top. I will recommend you do this once you started your journey, once you gain self-control, once you've really practiced and do all these tips and you're like in the better state of mind, I recommend making a vow to the Lord. Now, making a vow to the Lord is a very serious thing, because once you say something to the Lord, you have to stand on it. You have to stand on business. You can read that in Numbers chapter 30. Like, making a vow to the Lord is like like I said, it's a serious thing, you know? And it also shows how serious you are and how determined you are in trying to improve yourself, trying to be pleasing in the sight of the Lord. So that's a bonus tip out there that I wanted to throw out there. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And I'll see y'all next time. Shalom.